Samsaradava nalalida loka Tranaya karuna gana ganatvam Praptasya kalyana gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasorasena Romancha Kampa Shutaranga Vajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Shri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Shingarathan Mandiramarjanado Yuktasya bhaktam saniyanjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Chaturvida Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadana Triptan Hari Bhaksha Sangram Kritraiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Shri Radhika Madhava Yorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanamnam Pratikshanaasvadanalolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Nikunjayono Rati Keli Siddhai Yayali Vir Yukti Rapekshaniya Tatrati Daksharati Vallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Sakshadaritvena Samasta Shastre Uktastatha Bhavyate Vasadvi Kintu Prabhoya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada nagati katapi Jayam stuvam stasa yasa shri sadyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare नमामीश्वरं सच्चित् आनन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चित् आनन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले नमामीश्वरं सच्चित् आनन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं यशोदाभियोलुखलाधवमाना परं हृष्टमात्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्या यशोदा हृष्टमात्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रं युग्मं ऋजन्तं करं भुजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रं रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रं युग्मं ऋजन्तं करं भुजयुग्मेन मुहुश्वासकं पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठा सितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे घोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं तदीयसिताग्नेषु भक्तचितात्मं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे तदीयसिताग्नेषु वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावरिं वा न चन्यं ऋणहं वर्षदपिह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबाला सदा मे मनस्य विरसं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजमत्यन्तनीले घृतं कुण्टलस्निग्धरक्तस्य गोप्या मुहुशुम्भितां बिम्बरक्ताधरां मे मनस्य वीरास्तं वरं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभु दुःख जलब्धिमाग्नं नमो दामोदर कृपा दृष्टि वृष्याति दीनं पतानु गृहनिशममत्यं विद्यक्षिदेशा कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमुत्यवयाद्वा त्वयमुचितो भक्ति भजो कृतो च आत्मजो बद्ध तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम प्रयाच न मोक्षग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायथा विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधा नीलमाधव राधा नीलमाधव श्री राधे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Shri Radha Damodar Bhagwan ki Jai Gaura Premanande
Jai Om Shinupad Brahmhamsa Pajaka Acharya Stota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Abhartana Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Shinupad Brahmhamsa Pajaka Acharya Stota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Nam Acharya Srila Haridasa Thakur Ki Jai Permise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Purushottama Chaitra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Bhishma Panchaka Ki Jai, Shri Damodar Masa Kartika Masa Ki Jai, Shri Yashoda Damodara Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Damodara Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari. All glory to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Nara Simhaya Namaste Nara Simhaya Namaste Nara Simhaya Simhaya Pralad Lad Daini Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Purvakshaha Shilakankanakalaye Kalaye Ito Narsimha Par To Narsimha Narsimha Yato Yato Yamita To Narsimha नरसिंह भगवान की जय, भक्तलाल महाराज की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, निताई गौर प्रमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल।
Let us all recite the translation together. To the Supreme Lord, whose form embodies eternity, knowledge, and bliss, who dearly swing to and fro, who shines beautiful in Gokula, who quickly ran from the dear Mother Yashoda, and who was caught from behind by her, who ran faster than he. To that Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, offer my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful, and his quick breathing shook the stranded pearls on his neck, which bore 3 lines like those on a conch shell. To that Supreme Lord Shri Damodar, whose belly is bound with ropes his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. With these super excellent childhood pastimes, Lord Krishna joined the residents of Gokula in full of ecstasy. In this way he declared to those absorbing knowledge of the majesty and opulence, I am conquered only by my pure loving devotee. With great love I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, though you can award all kinds of benedictions, I pray to you neither for the boon in personal liberation, nor for the highest liberation, eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor for any other such boon. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala, Gopal, and Vrindavan may ever manifest in my heart. For what use do I have for any other boon besides this? O Lord, again and again Mother Yashoda kisses your lotus face, which is framed by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, and beautified by lips colored red like a bimba fruit. May this vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands other benedictions have no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisance unto you. O Damodar, O Ananda, O Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. Shower me with your merciful glances and deliver this poor ignorant fool in mercy and ocean-watery sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, as a baby tied a grinding mortar, you deliver courageous two sons from the curse of Narada and made them into great devotees. In the same way, please give me pure loving devotion for you. I long for this alone and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, obeisance unto the brilliantly refulgent robe binding your belly. Obeisance unto your belly, the abode of the entire universe. Obeisance unto your dear most beloved Srimati Radharani, and obeisance unto you, O Lord, who displays unlimited pastime. Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Priyaya Keshava Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Priyaya Keshava Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Priyaya Keshava Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadai Namo Namaha. Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani ki jai.
Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Radha Krishna Seva Pabo Iya Bhilashe Radha Krishna Seva Pabo Iya Bhilashe
तुम्हारा शरण लो, तारा वांछा पूर्ण हो, जे तुम्हारा शरण लो, तारा वांछा पूर्ण हो, कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे वृंदावन वासी। मोरा ये अभिलाष विलास कुंजे दियो वास, अभिलाष विलास कुंजे दियो वास, नयने हेरिबो सदा युगल रूपरासी। ई निवेदन धरो सखीरनुगत करो, सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी। दीन कृष्ण दासी को न मोरा हो, श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न बासी। श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी। नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्णा प्रेयसी, नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्णा प्रेयसी। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणं पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणं पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणं पदे पदे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवी प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः प्रियाय केशवस्य भक्ति प्रतिदेवी देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय
My desire is also grant me residence in precious groves of Shiva and Dhamnatam. Thus within my wish I shall always behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of Karha Dinosaur Virgin. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me my own maid servant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govind. Shrimati Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. There are 10 fences in the matter of chanting holy names which should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees of deities alive for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods, Lord Shiva or Brahma, to be equal to an independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To dissipate the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Veda literature or literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda the fruitive activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glory's holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna, Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Ceto Darpana Marjanam Pava Mahadavakni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chantrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Putivardhanam Pratipadam Purunarmita Sadhanam Sarvatamasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Tavarkripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Yaha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunicena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manatena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jammanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Toyi Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stitha Duri Satisham Vichintaya Nayanam Galata Shrutaraya Vatanam Gadgata Rudaya Gira Pulakai Nichitam Mapurkada Tavanama Krahane Bhavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name ashirishava padaratam pinnashtumam adarshanam marmahatam karotuva yatha tatha va vitatatu lampato matprananathastu se eva na paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses heart of all the dust and created for years, and extinguishes fire of conditional life, or repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads a rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and enable us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grant all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have vested all your transcendental energies. They are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out kindness you enable us to easily approach you by holy names, but I am so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the joy in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O my Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Mahajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow I fall into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at one of Adam's and lotus feet. Oh my Lord, won't my eyes be decked with tears of love, flowing constant when I chant your holy name? Won't my voice choke up, or with hairs my body stand end at the recitation of your name? Oh Govinda, feeling our separation, I'm considering the moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in our absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Tatati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitam Scha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatyate Shatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhani Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupa Nuga Viruta Pasiddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Svarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nirdishta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarabhama Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurate Shen Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sratoro Pangor Mamamanda Materkati Masarva Swapadam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Divindaranya Kalpajumata Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Pi Sevamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsivata Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shri Yestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishvari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Tadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Shri Paramasamhita ki jai. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satma Sukha Paviksha Lakshariteshu Surabhi Rabhi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Pramasevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venung Kvanantam Aravinda Dalayadaksham Parharvatam Samasitam Pudasundarangam Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chantakala Savanamada Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakiri Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanka Laditam Nyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Angani Yasya Sakalindira Vittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimmay Satu Jala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavasara Samprakamyo Vayuratapi Manaso Muni Pangavanam Sopyasti Yapapata Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sorachayitum Jakatanta Kotim Ya Shakti Rasti Jakatanta Jaya Yatantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Bhushaha Suktayam Eva Nikama Patitai Stuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ananta Chimmarasa Patibhavitabis Tapeya Evan Jarupataya Kalapihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Kilatma Bhutto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Premanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Yamena Tishtan Nanavatara Makaro Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Parama Pumamyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept at playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, around whose neck is swing a garland of flowers, beautified with a moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with a flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending forms of Shama Sundar is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda as a primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged function of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure, unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. Only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men, who are imbued with devotion, sing the mantra shuktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidantes, Sakis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by her ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Sham Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable and innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna in the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc., as the subjective portions.
Sri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Srinvatam svakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi abhadrani vidunoti suhrit satam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschai cheta eterana vidam stitam sattve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथे छिद्यन्ते सर्व समस्या क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity, and for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes free from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness. Pure goodness becomes enlivened by devotional service and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 36. Srinvanti gayanti grananti abhikshanasaha smaranti nandanti tavehitam janaha taeva pasyanti achirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. Srinvanti, hear, gayanti, chant, grananti, take, abhikshana saha, continuously, smaranti, remember, nandanti, take pleasure, tava, your ihitam, activities, jana, people in general, they, eva, certainly, pashyanti, can see, achirena, very soon, tavakam, your bhava pravaha, the current of rebirth, uparamam, cessation, pada ambujam, lotus feet. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna cannot be seen by our present conditional vision. In order to see him, one has to change his present vision by developing a different condition of life full of spontaneous love of Godhead. When Sri Krishna was personally present on the face of the globe, not everyone could see him as the supreme personality of Godhead. Materialists like Ravana, Hiranyakasipu, Kamsa, Jarasandha, and Shishupala were highly qualified personalities by acquisition of material assets, but they were unable to appreciate the presence of the Lord. Therefore, even though the Lord may be present before our eyes, it is not possible to see him unless we have the necessary vision. This necessary qualification is developed by the process of devotional service only, beginning with hearing about the Lord from the right sources. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the popular literatures which are generally heard, chanted, repeated, etc. by the people in general. But in spite of such hearing, etc., sometimes it is experienced that the performer of such devotional service does not see the Lord eye to eye. The reason is that the first item, Shravana, is very important. If hearing is from the right sources, it acts very quickly. Generally, people hear from unauthorized persons. Such unauthorized persons may be very learned by academic qualifications, but because they do not follow the principles of devotional service, hearing from them becomes a sheer waste of time. Sometimes the texts are interpreted fashionably to suit their own purposes. Therefore, first one should select a competent and bona fide speaker and then hear from him. When the hearing process is perfect and complete, the other processes become automatically perfect in their own way. There are different transcendental activities of the Lord, and each and every one of them is competent to bestow the desired result, provided the hearing process is perfect. In the Bhagavatam, the activities of the Lord begin from his dealings with the Pandavas. There are many other pastimes of the Lord in connection with his dealings with the Asuras and others. And in the 10th canto, the sublime dealings with his conjugal associates, the gopis, as well as with his married wives at Dwarka are mentioned. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference in the transcendental nature of each and every dealing of the Lord. But sometimes people in an unauthorized hearing process take more interest in hearing about his dealings with the gopis. Such an inclination indicates the lusty feelings of the hearer. So a bona fide speaker of the dealings of the Lord never indulges in such hearings. One must hear about the Lord from the very beginning, as in the Srimad Bhagavatam or any other scriptures, and that will help the hearer attain perfection by progressive development. One should not therefore consider that his dealings with the Pandavas are less important than his dealings with the gopis. We must always remember that the Lord is always transcendental to all mundane attachment. In all the above mentioned dealings of the Lord, he is the hero in all circumstances, and hearing about him or about his devotees or combatants is conducive to spiritual life. It is said that the Vedas and Puranas, etc., are all made to revive our lost relation with him. Hearing of all these scriptures is essential.
Text 37. I'm just going to skip to the. Somebody want to do the Sanskrit for me?
Abhyajanastum swakrite hita prabhu jihasa sisvitsuhruto nujivina esham nachanyad bhavata padambujad parayanam rajasu yojitam hasam.
Api, if, adya, today, naha, us, twam, you, svakrita, self-executed, hita, all duties, prabhu, O my Lord, jinyasi, giving up, svit, possibly, shrudaha, intimate friends, anjudvid, vinaha, living at the mercy of, yesham, of whom, na, nor, cha, and, anyat, anyone else, bhavata, your, pada ambu jat, from the lotus feet, parayanam, dependent, rajasu, unto the kings, yojita, engaged in, amhasam, enmity. Translation. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. You are leaving us today, though you are completely dependent on Though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all these... I should read that again. Are you leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all these kings are at enmity with us? Purport. The Pandavas are most fortunate because, with all good luck, they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. In the material world, we are to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune, but in the case of our transcendental relation with the Lord, it is the most fortunate case we can have. We can live completely dependent on Him. The material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. But the cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. The false attempt to become independent of stringent laws of nature is known as material advancement of experimental knowledge. The whole material world is moving on this false attempt of becoming independent of the laws of nature. Beginning with Ravana, who wanted to prepare a direct staircase to the planets of heaven, down to the present age, they are trying to overcome the laws of nature. They are trying now to approach distant planetary systems by electronic mechanical power. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on Him. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time to completely depend on the Lord. The Pandavas were ideal executors of this standard of civilization. Undoubtedly, they were completely dependent on the goodwill of Lord Sri Krishna, but they were not idle parasites of the Lord. They were all highly qualified, both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of the Lord, because they knew that every living being is dependent by constitutional position. The perfection of life is, therefore, to become dependent on the will of the Lord, instead of becoming falsely independent in the material world. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called ananta, or without any guardian. Whereas those who are completely dependent on the will of the Lord are called sanata, or those having someone to protect him. Therefore, we must try to be sanata, so that we can always be protected from the unfavorable condition of material existence. By the deluding power of the external material nature, we forget that the material condition of life is the most undesirable perplexity. The Bhagavad Gita therefore directs us that after many, many births, one unfortunate person becomes aware of the fact that Vasudeva... Okay, let me read that again. The Bhagavad Gita therefore directs us that after many, many births, one fortunate person becomes aware of the fact that Vasudeva is all in all, and that the best way of leading one's life is to surrender unto him completely. That is the sign of a Mahatma. All the members of the Pandava family were Mahatmas in household life. Maharaj Yudhishthira was the head of these Mahatmas, and Queen Kunti Devi was the mother. The lessons of the Bhagavad Gita and all the Puranas, specifically the Bhagavat Purana, are therefore inevitably connected with this history of the Pandava Mahatmas. For them, the separation of the Lord was just like the separation of a fish from water. Srimati Kunti Devi therefore felt such separation like a thunderbolt, and the whole prayer of the queen is to try to persuade the Lord to stay with them. After the battle of Kurukshetra, although the inimical kings were killed, their sons and grandsons were still there to deal with the Pandavas. It is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of enmity, but all of us are always in such a condition, and the best way of living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord, and thereby overcome all difficulties of material existence.
Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, verse 38. के वयं नाम रूपाभ्यां यदुभिः सह पाण्डवाः भवतो दर्शनं ह्यर्हि ऋषिकानाम् इवेसितुः के who are vayam we nama rupabhyam without fame and ability yadubihi with the yadus saha along with pandavaha and the pandavas bhavataha your adarshanam absence yarhi as if rishikanam of the senses iva like isituhu of the living being. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kunti Devi is quite aware that the existence of the Pandavas is due to Sri Krishna only. The Pandavas are undoubtedly well established in name and fame and are guided by the great king Yudhishthira, who is morality personified, and the Yadus are undoubtedly great allies, but without the guidance of Lord Krishna, all of them are non-entities as much as the senses of the body are useless without the guidance of consciousness. No one should be proud of his prestige, power, and fame without being guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord. The living beings are always dependent, and the ultimate dependable object is the Lord Himself. We may therefore invent by our advancement of material knowledge all sorts of counteracting material resources, but without being guided by the Lord, all such inventions end in fiasco, however strong and stout the reactionary elements may be.
Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 39. Neyam subhishyate tatra yate danim gadadara tvatpadair ankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitai. No, not iyam, this land of your kingdom, our kingdom, subhishyate, will appear beautiful. Tatra, then, yada, as it is now. Idanim, how, Gadadara, O Krishna, Tvat, your, Padai, by the feet, Ankita, marked, Bhati is dazzling, Swalakshana, your own marks, Vilakshitai, by the impressions. Translation: O Gadadara, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are certain particular marks on the feet of the Lord which distinguish the Lord from others. The marks of a flog, thunderbolt, an instrument to drive an elephant, umbrella, lotus, disc, etc., are on the bottom of the Lord's feet. These marks are impressed upon the soft dust of the land where the Lord traverses. The land of Hastinapura was thus marked while Lord Sri Krishna was there with the Pandavas, and the kingdom of the Pandavas thus flourished by such auspicious signs. Kunti Devi pointed out these distinguished features and was afraid of ill luck in the absence of the Lord.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 40. Ime jana pada swardaha supakau kvashadadi viruddha vandri nadya udan vanto hedante tva vikashita. Ime, all these, jana padaha, cities and towns, sraddhaha, flourished, supakva, mature, asdi, herbs, vriddhaha, vegetable, vana, forest, Adri, hills, Nadi, rivers, Udanvantaha, seas, high, certainly, Edante, increasing, Tva, by you, Vikashita, seen. Translation: all these cities and villages are flourishing in all the respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the ocean full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Human prosperity flourishing by natural gifts and not by gigantic industrial enterprises. The gigantic industrial enterprises are products of a godless civilization, and they cause the destruction of the noble aims of human life. The more we go on increasing such troublesome industries to squeeze out the vital energy of the human being, the more there will be unrest and dissatisfaction of the people in general. Although a few only can live lavishly by exploitation, the natural gifts such as grains and vegetable, fruits, rivers, the hills of jewels and minerals, and the sea full of pearls are supplied by the order of the Supreme. And as He desires, material nature produces them in abundance or restrict them at times. The natural law is that the human being may take advantage of these godly gifts by nature and satisfactorily flourishing on them without being captivated by the exploitative motive of lording it over material nature. The more we attempt to exploit material nature according to our whims of enjoyment, the more we shall become entrapped by the reaction of such exploitative attempts. If we have sufficient grains, fruits, vegetables, and herbs, then what is the necessity of running a slaughterhouse and killing poor animals? A man need not kill an animal if he has sufficient grains and vegetables to eat. The flow of river water fertilizes the field, and there is more than what we need. Minerals are produced in the hills and the jewels in the ocean. If human civilization has sufficient grains, minerals, jewels, water, milk, etc., then why should it hanker after terrible industrial enterprises at the cost of the labor of some unfortunate men? But all these natural gifts are dependent on the mercy of the Lord. What we need, therefore, is to be obedient to the laws of the Lord and achieve the perfection of human life by devotional service. The indications by Kunti Devi are just to the point. She desires that God's mercy be bestowed upon them so that natural prosperity be maintained by His grace.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 41. Ata Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Swakeshu me Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi Dridham Pandasu Vrishnishu. Ata, therefore, Vishwa Isha, O Lord of the universe, Vishwa Atman, O soul of the universe, Vishwa Murti, O personality of the universal form, Swakeshu, unto my own kinsmen, me, my, Sneha Pasham, tie of affection, Imam, this Chindi cut off, Dridham, deep, Pandusu for the Pandavas, Vrishnishu for the Vrishnis also. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord, but the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off the affectionate tie from her own kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. The Pandavas are her own sons, and the Vrishnis are the members of her paternal family. Krishna was equally related to both the families. Both the families required the Lord's help because both were dependent devotees of the Lord. Srimati Kunti Devi wished Sri Krishna to remain with her sons, the Pandavas, but by his doing so, her paternal house would be bereft of the benefit. All these partialities troubled the mind of Kunti, and therefore she desired to cut off the affectionate tie. A pure devotee cuts off the limited ties of affection for his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. The typical example is a band of 6 Goswamis who followed the path of Lord Chaitanya. All of them belonged to the most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher caste, but for the benefit of the mass of population, they left their comfortable homes and became mendicants. To cut off all family affection means to broaden the field of activities. Without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmana, a king, a public leader, or a devotee of the Lord. The personality of Godhead, as an ideal king, showed this by example. Sri Ramachandra cut off the tie of affection for his beloved wife to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. Such personalities as a Brahmana, a devotee, a king, or a public leader must be very broad-minded in discharging their respective duties. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and being weak, she prayed to be free from such bondage of family affection. The Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his all-powerful ability to cut the hard knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances arranged by his all-powerful energy. By doing so, he causes the devotee to become completely dependent on him, and thus clears the path for his going back to Godhead. 2.
Tvaimi ananya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit ratim udvahata adda ganje vagam udanvati.
Tvai, unto me, my, anya vishaya, unalloyed, mati, attention, madhupate, O Lord of Madhu, asakrit, continuously, ratim, attraction, ud, vahatat, may overflow, adha, directly, Ganga, the Ganges, eva, like, okam, flows, undavanti, down to the sea. Translation: O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn into you without being diverted to anyone else. Purport: Perfection of pure devotional service is attained when all attention is diverted towards the transcendental loving service of the Lord. To cut off the tie of all other affections does not mean complete negation of the finer elements, like affection for someone else. This is not possible. A living being, whoever he may be, must have his feelings of affection for others because this is a symptom of life. The symptoms of life, such as desire, anger, hankerings, feelings of affection, etc., cannot be annihilated. Only the objective has to be changed. Desire cannot be negated, but in devotional service the desire is changed only for the service of the Lord in place of desire for sense gratification. A so-called affection for family, society, country, etc. consists of different phases of sense gratification. When this desire is changed for the satisfaction of the Lord, it is called devotional service. In the Bhagavad Gita, we can see that it was just to satisfy his own personal desires that Arjuna refused to fight with his brothers and relations. But when he heard the message of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he changed his decision and served the Lord. And for his doing so, he became a famous devotee of the Lord. For it is declared in all the scriptures that Arjuna obtained spiritual perfection by devotional service to the Lord in friendship. The fighting was there, the friendship was there, Arjuna was there, and Krishna was there. But Arjuna became a different person by devotional service. Therefore, the same prayers of Kunti also indicate the same categorical changes in activities. Srimati Kunti wanted to serve the Lord without diversion, and that was her prayer. This unalloyed devotion is the ultimate goal of life. Our attention is usually diverted to the service of something which is non-godly, or not in the program of the Lord. When the program is changed into the service of the Lord, that is to say, when the senses are purified in relation with the service of the Lord, it is called pure unalloyed devotional service. Srimati Kuti Devi wanted that perfection and prayed for it from the Lord. Her affection for the Pandavas and the Vishnus is not out of range of devotional service because the service of the Lord and the service of the devotees are identical. Sometimes service to the devotee is more valuable than the service to the Lord. But here the affection of Kunti Devi for the Pandavas and the Vishnus was due to family relation. This tie of affection in terms of material relation is the relation of Maya, because the relations of the body or of the mind are due to the influence of the external energy. Relations of the soul, established in relation with the Supreme Soul, are factually relations. When Kunti Devi wanted to cut off the family relations, she meant to cut off the relation of the skin. The skin relation is the cause of material bondage, but the relation of the soul is the cause of freedom. This relation of the soul to the soul can be established by the via medium of the relation with the Supreme, with the Supersoul. Seeing the darkness is not seeing, but seeing in the darkness is not seeing, but seeing by the light of the sun means to see the sun and everything else which is unseen in the darkness. That is the way of devotional service.
Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 8th Chapter, Text 43. Sri Krishna Krishna Sakha Vrishni Rishabhava Nidruk Rajanya Vamsa Dahananapa Varga Virya Govinda Godvija Surati Haravatara Yogeshwara Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Synonyms. Sri Krishna, O Sri Krishna. Krishna Sakha, O friend of Arjuna. Vrishni, of descendants of Vrishni. Rishabha, O chief. Avani, the earth. Drik, rebellious. Rajanya Vamsa, dynasties of the kings. Dahana, O annihilator. Anapavarga, without deterioration of. Virya, prowess. Govinda, O proprietor of Golokadhama. Go, of the cows. Dvija, the Brahmanas. Sura, the demigods. Artihara, to relieve distress. Avatara, O Lord who descends. Yoga Ishvara, O master of all mystic powers. Akhila, universal. Guru, O preceptor. Bhagavan, O possessor of all opulences. Namaste, respectful obeisances unto you. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief among the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distress of the cows, the Brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A summary of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is made herein by Srimati Kunti Devi. The Almighty Lord has his eternal transcendental abode where he is engaged in keeping Surabhi cows. He is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. He descends to the material world to reclaim his devotees and to annihilate the disturbing elements in groups of political parties and kings who are supposed to be in charge of administration work. He creates, maintains, and annihilates by his unlimited energies, and still he is always full with prowess and does not deteriorate in potency. The cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees of the Lord are all objects of his special attention because they are very important factors for the general welfare of living beings.
Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 44. Sutta Uvacha Prutayetam Kalapadai Parinuta Kilodaya Mandam Jahasa Vaikunto Mohayaniva Maya. Sutta Uvacha, Sutta said, Prutaya by Pruta Kunti, Ittam this, Kalapadai by choosing words, Parinuta being worshipped, Akila universal, Udaya glories, Mandam mildly, Jahasa smiled, Vaikunta the Lord, Mohayan captivating, Iva like Mayaya his mystic power. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anything that is enchanting in the world is said to be a representation of the Lord. The conditioned souls who are engaged in trying to lord it over the material world are also enchanted by his mystic powers, but his devotees are enchanted in a different way by the glories of the Lord, and his merciful blessings are upon them. His energy is displayed in different ways, as electrical energy works in manifold capacities. Srimati Kunti Devi has prayed to the Lord just to enunciate a fragment of his glories. All his devotees worship him in that way by choosing words, and therefore the Lord is known as Uttama Shloka. No amount of chosen words is sufficient to enumerate the Lord's glory, and yet he is satisfied by such prayers as a father is satisfied even by the broken linguistic attempts of the growing child. The word Maya is used both in the sense of delusion and mercy. Herein the word Maya is used in the sense of the Lord's mercy upon Kunti Devi.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 45. Tam Baddham iti upam mantraya pravishya gaja saha vyayam striyascha swapuram yashayan premna rajna nivardita. Tam, all those, but them accepted, iti, thus, upam mantraya, subsequently informed, pravishya, entering, gaja sahavyayam, the place of Astinapura. Also, yeah. Gaja sahavyayam, the palace of the Astinapura. Stri Yahacha, other ladies, Swapurana, own residence, Yashayan, while starting for Premna with love, Rajana by the king, Nivartita stopped. Translations. Thus, accepting the prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord subsequently informed other ladies of his departure by entering the palace of Hastinapura. But upon preparing to leave, he was stopped by King Yudhishthira, who implored him lovingly. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. No one could make Lord Krishna stay at Hastinapura when he decided to start for Dwaraka. But the simple request of King Yudhishthira that the Lord remain there for a few days more was immediately effective. The signifies that the power of King Yudhishthira was loving affection, which the Lord could not deny. The Almighty God is thus conquered only by loving service and nothing else. He is fully independent in all his dealings, but he voluntarily accepts obligations by the loving affection of his pure devotees.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 46. Vyasadvair Ishware Hajnai Krishnena Abduta Karmana Prabodhita Ditopiti Hasair Nabudyata Suchair Pita Vyasa Advai, by great sages headed by Vyasa, Ishvara, the Almighty God, Iha, by the will of, Jnai, by the learned, Krishnena, by Krishna himself, Adbhuta Karmana, by one who performs all superhuman work, Prabodhita, being solaced, Api, although, Itihasai, by evidences from the histories, Na, not, Adbhutyata, satisfied, Suchab, Arpita, distressed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Yudhishthira, who was much aggrieved, could not be convinced, despite instructions by great sages headed by Vyasa and the Lord Krishna himself, the performer of superhuman feats, and despite all historical evidence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The pious King Yudhishthira was mortified because of the mass massacre of human beings in the battle of Kurukshetra, especially on his account. Duryodhana was there on the throne and he was doing well in his administration, and in one sense there was no need of fighting. But on the principles of justice, Yudhishthira was to replace him. The whole clinch of politics centered around this point, and all the kings and residents of the whole world became involved in this fight between the rival brothers. Lord Krishna was also there on the side of King Yudhishthira. It is said in the Mahabharata Adi Parva 20 that 640 million men were killed in the 18 days of the battle of Kurukshetra, and some hundreds of thousands were missing. Practically, this was the greatest battle in the world within 5,000 years. This mass killing simply to dethrone Maharaj Yudhishthira was too mortifying, so he tried to be convinced with evidences from his stories by great sages like Vyasa and the Lord himself that the fight was just because the cause was just. But Maharaj Yudhishthira would not be satisfied, even though he was instructed by the greatest personalities of the time. Krishna is designated herein as the performer of superhuman actions. But in this particular instance, neither he nor Vyasa could convince King Yudhishthira. Does it mean that he failed to be a superhuman actor? No, certainly not. The interpretation is that the Lord as Ishvara, or the super soul in the hearts of both King Yudhishthira and Vyasa, performed still more superhuman action because the Lord desired it. As super soul of King Yudhishthira, he did not allow the king to be convinced by the words of Vyasa and others, including himself, because he desired that the king hear instructions from the dying Bhishma Deva, who was another great devotee of the Lord. The Lord wanted that at the last stage of this material existence, the great warrior Bhishma Deva see him personally and see his beloved grandchildren, King Yudhishthira, etc., now situated on the throne, and thus pass away very peacefully. Bhishma Deva was not at all satisfied to fight against the Pandavas, who were his beloved fatherless grandchildren. But the Kshatriyas are also very stern people, and therefore he was obliged to take the side of Duryodhana because he was maintained at the expense of Duryodhana. Besides this, the Lord also desired that King Yudhishthira be pacified by the words of Bhishma Deva, so that the world could see that Bhishma Deva excelled all in knowledge, including the Lord himself.
Text 47, Canto 1, Chapter 8. Aharaja Dharma Sutas Chintayan Suhridam Vadam Prakriti Natmana Vipra Sneha Moha Vasam Gata.
Aha, said Raja, King Yudhisthira, Dharma, Sutta, the son of Dharma, Yamaraj, Chinyayan, thinking of, Surdham, of the friends, Vadam, killing, Prakritena, by material conception only, Atmana, by the self, Vipra, O Brahmana, Sneha, affection, Moha, delusion, Vasam, being carried away by, Gataha, having gone. Translation. King Yudhisthira, son of Dharma, overwhelmed by the death of his friends, was aggrieved just like a common materialistic man. O sages, thus deluded by affection, he began to speak. Purport. King Yudhisthira, though he was not expected to become aggrieved like a common man, became deluded by worldly affection by the will of the Lord, just as Arjuna was apparently deluded. A man who sees knows well that the living entity is neither the body nor the mind, but is transcendental to the material conceptions of life. The common man thinks of violence and non-violence and violence in terms of the body, but that is a kind of delusion. Everyone is duty-bound according to one's occupational duties. A Kshatriya is born to fight for the right cause, regardless of the opposite party. But in such discharge of duty, one should not be disturbed by annihilation of the material body, which is only an external dress of the living soul. But this was perfectly known to Maharaj Yudhisthira. By the will of the Lord, he became just like a common man, because there was another great idea behind this delusion. The king would be instructed by Bhishma, as Arjuna was instructed by the Lord himself.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, 8th chapter, text 48. Aho me pasyata gnanam hridi rudham durat manaha parakya shaiva dehasya bhavyo me shauhinir hataha. Synonyms: aho, me, aho, o, me, my, pashyata, just see, agnanam, ignorance, hridi, in the heart, rudham, situated in, durata manaha, of the sinful, parakyasya, meant for others, eva, certainly, dehasya, of the body, bahavyaha, many, many, me, by me, akshauhinihi, combination of military phalanxes, hataha, killed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Yudhishthira said, O my Lord, O my Lord, I am the most sinful man. Just see my heart, which is full of ignorance. This body, which is ultimately meant for others, has killed many, many phalanxes of men. A solid phalanx of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 109,650 infantry, and 65,600 cavalry is called an akshauhini. And many akshauhinis were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Maharaj Yudhishthira, as a most pious king of the world, takes for himself the responsibility for killing such a huge number of living beings because the battle was fought to reinstate him on the throne. This body is after all meant for others. While there is life in the body, it is meant for the service of the others, and when it is dead, it is meant to be eaten by dogs and jackals or maggots. He is sorry because for such a temporary body, such a huge massacre was committed.
Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 49. Baladvija Suhrun Mitra Pitra Bratra Guru Druha Namishan Nirayan Moksho Yapi Varshaya Tayutai. Bala, boys. Dvija, the twice born. Suhrut, well wishers. Mitra, friends. Pitra, parents. Bratra, brothers. Guru, preceptors. Druha, one who has killed. Na, never. May, my. Sat, there shall be. Nirayat, from hell. Moksha, liberation. He, certainly. Api, although. Varsha, years. Ayuta, millions. Ayutai, being added. Translation. I have killed many boys, brahmanas, well-wishers, friends, parents, preceptors, and brothers. Though I live millions of years, I will not be relieved from the hell that awaits me for all these sins. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Whenever there is a war, there is certainly a massacre of many innocent living beings, such as boys, brahmanas, and women, whose killing is considered to be the greatest of sins. They are all innocent creatures, and in all circumstances, killing of them is forbidden in the scriptures. Maharaja Yudhishthira was aware of these mass killings. Similarly, there were friends, parents, and preceptors also on both sides, and all of them were killed. It was simply horrible for him to think of such killing, and therefore he was thinking of residing in hell for millions and billions of years. Today we read up to Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 49. We will continue to reading tomorrow. Srimad Gandharaj Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. We'll start the Guru Puja when they start doing this. Until then, we'll do the Hare Krishna. First, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada.
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्री गुरु चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा श्री गुरु चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंधमुनि सावधान माते बंधमुनि सावधान माते जहरा प्रसादे भाई ए बाबा तोरिया जय जहरा प्रसादे भाई ए बाबा तोरिया जय कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जा होइते होई जा होइते गुरु मुख पद्म वाक्य चिते ते कोरियाइका गुरु मुख पद्म चिते ते कोरियाइका हरना कोरियो माने आशा श्री गुरु चराने रति ऐसे उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चराने रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जय प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा जय पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते होते अविद्या विनाश वेद गाय जहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आजम जनर बंधु गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनर बंधु लोकेना लोकेरा जीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद चया प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद हे बेजाज गुशु त्रिभुवाना श्रीला प्रभु पाद पतित प्रवाना जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यानामिने ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यानामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी प्राच्यचादिसतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी प्राच्यचादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Nitya Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual masters are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scripture sings of his character. Our spiritual master is ocean of mercy, the friend of poor, the Lord and the master of the devotee. O Lokanath Goswami, O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shades of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada की